Hello, my peoples. እንኳን አደረሳችሁ. It's a big holiday that we're celebrating these days. There was Debre Tabor, and obviously we just got finished celebrating Filsata. I'm making this video because I just got finished watching a sermon by Memir Dr. Zebene. By the way, I heard he got his second PhD. That's pretty amazing. And I'll tell you guys like the general gist of the sermon, and it's about like COVID-19 and all the things that's going on. And it's basically saying we need to be like cognizant of the fact that the virus is still going on. I've been relatively like kind of silent when it comes to the whole thing about COVID and how to go about it, but especially now, I feel the need to say something. I don't know if you guys have heard, but if you're in the DC area, Kinanimret in Virginia, I think there was a few people are exposed to the virus. From what I hear, quite a number of people have contracted the virus. So all this to say, we need to be responsible. We need to be responsible. When like Christians are said like, we're the light of the world, right? So we're supposed to set the tone for the rest of the world to be an example. And I think with covering this idea of being spiritual and being religious and all this stuff, some of us, especially lately, have, I think, been irresponsible when it comes to things like social distancing, and when it comes to like just like going and like not being careful of the things that we're doing. So we're still in the midst of a pandemic, and I think it's a beautiful thing that people are going to church and still worshiping and all this stuff, but we need to be really careful about what we're doing, especially if we have loved ones who are in that danger zone, right? Like for example, myself, I've had like pre-existing condition, like bronchitis and stuff like that. So I know I have to be extra careful. Now, it's not to say that I've been like the best, but I have to be cognizant of that and really pay attention to the things that I'm doing. If you guys have loved ones like your mom and your grandma and all this stuff, please be mindful and just stay home. It's the numbers are really growing, and if we want to go back to whatever normal is, then the sooner we get our act together, the sooner that the virus is going to go down and we could go back to church and do the things that we can do. But we shouldn't be testing God, and that was kind of the theme of Memir Zebene's sermon. And I think it's worth listening to because it really speaks volume. Like I said, I've been kind of quiet about it, but guys, like we have to be responsible. I watch social media and all this stuff, and I've seen people getting together and especially in church and stuff like that. And you can never really tell somebody don't go to church, but like if people are getting sick, especially we're talking about clergy members and like old people are getting sick, like that's not a good thing. And that's not religious at all. That's not spiritual at all. We have to think for ourselves like this, my behavior is going to like affect someone else's family, right? And don't forget, like, I had a conversation the other day with a friend who didn't have a lot of symptoms after having contracted the virus. And it was like, it's no big deal. That might be true for one person, but for the next person, it might be completely different. And there are young people dying because they have like another like underlying problem, whether it's asthma or something like that. And please think for the rest of the people around you. Again, you might be okay if you're a young person and healthy and nothing is wrong with you, but for the person next to you, like just be cautious and think about the things that you're doing. Like in the mask of being spiritual, going to church and not socially distancing and not being careful is not an answer. So again, please choose your actions wisely. We are in the midst of a pandemic. God knows our heart. So, we need to be wise enough to really think about the things that we're doing. So, with that being said, if you happen to speak Amharic, I invite you to listen to the sermon by Mehmet Zebene on YouTube. I think it's like አስቸኳይና or something, one of those like breaking news type of things. Listen to it. It's worth like listening to it. And be responsible, guys. Like, let's be patient. Let's do what we need to do so we could get this pandemic in order, and then that would be it. So that's all I gotta say. That's my rant for the day. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your holiday, and remember to be responsible. Okay.